Do you think that looks like fun, Charlie? Yeah? Maybe we'll get out. Want to go check it out? Okay, hold on. I have right of way, asshole. God, am I in the fucking lane already? All right. Okay. Get your arms out all the way. Go to Daddy's. We're gonna go to the market, get a bite to eat, run to the sidewalk, Charlie. Hey, bum, 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 bum.